What's up, my dudes? Back at it again with another video. I've been feeling like shit lately, so I don't know how well this is gonna go, but got some more work in here. You guys know Fredo's car. Originally, we OBD1 swapped this, put a different cam in his D series, multi-point, put the intake manifold on it for multi-point, and tuned the car. Made 108 on the single cam and went to the track. Same day. Did all that stuff. The car actually went 13s on that single cam, 108 wheel horsepower. It was great. Since then, he's actually swapped it with a B20. I don't know how fast it's been, but I know it's been low 13s. And in this video, we are actually getting this intercooler pipe, dump tube, and the up pipe set up for this motor because he is going boost. The B20 is coming out, and unless will be going in. I believe it's going to be built, and he's only shooting for like 300. We'll see. But yeah, he's limited on time because the car is cut and there's no cage, so he can't really go too fast. But so in this video, we're going to get all this set up for this motor. It's the mock-up motor. It's a B20. We're going to get it all set up, see how it goes together, and yeah, I already did. This is a stock manifold. LS manifold, and I was able to fit a 70 millimeter matched to the manifold in there on this stock manifold, 70 millimeter throttle body on the stock manifold. I'll insert some pictures and some video snippets. Well, it is port matched. I had to weld this up basically and carve it back out. This little bit of like mismatched stuff right here, it's basically flat and the gasket will make up for that. I tried to flatten out the flange as much as possible on my belt sander, and it came out pretty good. I don't want to take too much more off, so it looks good. I'm gonna see how it looks with the gasket on. Oh, there she is in her glory. That's a FAR 70 mil on a factory OEM manifold. All that matching looks pretty good. There's no lips, nothing. Pretty well ported. Pretty happy with it. It's not pretty, but I mean, like, you know, it's not perfect, but it is matched and it should flow pretty well. I had to cut really close to the idle air control valve port, and then I welded it up some to have some sealing for the gasket and such. But we got that back on there, so I already actually did all that. We're gonna go ahead and get this thing set up, get the manifold mounted with the turbo, see where the intercooler wants to be. That's actually not the intercooler we're using. We got a 3-inch intercooler for this setup. And yeah, we're gonna see how everything goes. So let's get started. All right, so I got the turbo mounted on the manifold. I got the manifold on the car. There was an issue with clearance right here. I did shave down the turbine housing some. And the header was already dented a little bit. Now there's a little bit of a gap in there, so we're good. A couple things with this manifold. I don't think it's made for an EF, but obviously this is an issue, especially whenever you're running boost. This is going to be a restriction here. So I told Fredo I'm going to cut this out for him, and I'm going to make like a aluminum inlet or whatever there. Try to kind of like contour it to the regular EF headlight look. So we'll get to that. Clock the turbo. Now I pulled his fuel system off because he has a fuel cell. Comes across the front here and goes up into the rail. I pulled it out because I need to do some welding here. I didn't really want anything to catch fire, so I got to move all this stuff out of the way to do some welding because I'm going to make brackets here to mount the intercooler. Now the intercooler that we do have, we have this intercooler here. So it's 3 inches in, 3 inches out. It is a 3-inch core thickness wise, and that's going to go up here. This side right here is already cut out, so I'm just going to finish cutting this out, get this nice and neat, and then I have to cut this side. I am going to cut it like it is over here and just cut this whole piece out, and then we'll have all the room that we need to go back door with this, because that's what we are doing. I'm going to probably have to cut off the ends there and weld on some pies to get this thing to go back door so that we can back door it and then up into the turbo here, and then from there we can make all this piping. So the only thing is we're gonna have to rethink how we do his fuel system. This is actually from a coilover. This is where you put the brake lines in, if you guys know. So we're gonna have to figure out another type of mounting solution for his fuel pump and his fuel filter. So I'm gonna pull this off, and I'm gonna try and level where this is gonna go and get these cut out real quick, and we should be good. Okay, so I got these cleared out. I got them welded back up, so no real open metal. The only real issue I have with anything EF is there's not a lot of space, but we should be able to make this work. I'm probably going to have to cut the edge of this off and start to pie early to get it up in there. Same thing with this side. Cut it off early so I can get it over and around and up. I used a piece of like, I don't know, it's a metal that looks like a corner. I can't remember the name of it, but I use that because that'll be a lot stronger. It has the bracing if I don't put anything up top, but I'm probably going to put up top. But this is what it's going to look like, basically. It's where it's going to sit. Sits pretty straight. I did my best to center it, and it looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead, weld these brackets in place. It's bolted to the intercooler from underneath to these. There's two on the bottom. So I'm going to get those welded in place, and then I'll be able to pull the intercooler off of the brackets, finish welding them, coat them in paint, and make sure everything is, you know, Gucci and ready to go. Okay, it's bolted up, it's welded up. They look pretty good. I'm not mad at it. It's really centered. Yeah, so now I am going to put the radiator back in so I can see how much space I have over here for this 90, for this 3-inch 90, because I need it to go inside of here. And then this side should be a lot easier. We have a lot more room here because there's no radiator in place. So I'm going to set the radiator back in. I'm going to go ahead and bolt the turbo back on, and actually I'm probably going to pull out the intercooler real quick. As you saw where the turbo was on, it gets real close to this, so I'm going to end up cutting this out, basically pull the headlight out, cut that out, and then I'm going to build an aluminum duct to the turbo. So yeah, I'm going to get the turbo bolted in, well, cut that out, turbo bolted in, and then put in the radiator and see where all that needs to go. Okay, so yeah, his radiator is for an EG. They put that in here, and it doesn't work because the gate then touches the radiator. So I have a stock EG radiator right here, and because it's thinner, the gate actually fits. So we're going to try and find him a stock radiator. Hopefully that doesn't allow it to overheat, but we'll see what happens. We're going to get the stock EG radiator in here. Allows us to get the gate in. I got the turbo on, and I cut out the headlight for the turbo. Now I will be making a custom air dam here to feed the turbo. So that's going to be pretty fucking dope. I'm going to have it mount to the same points as the headlight. These 2 points here, and I'm going to have it mount down here as well with a bolt and a nut. And it's going to sit here and just have like a channel to go right to the turbo, because if the headlight was here still, you know, it wouldn't have been able to get in much boost. So yeah. Alrighty, my GoPro tripod broke, so I'm holding it by the bottom of the GoPro, but I think I showed you guys this, maybe not. I got the headlight housing cut out, and right now I am actually fabricating up like a mount, or not a mount, but like a headlight piece. This is gonna look like the headlight. It's gonna fit in here, and then I'm gonna round some plate or cut or whatever and feed this to go back door so that the turbo has air. It's gonna be like a duct. So I'm doing that real quick. I'm not gonna show you that process, but I'll show you what it looks like when I'm finished. All right, so I got the headlight duct finished. I got 2 brackets and the corner marker bracket on there. It's stable, it's not going anywhere. It's gonna feed that turbo really well. And with the hood closed, Oh. Well, yeah, I have to cut the hood for the radiator, and I have it in place so I could do the exhaust. But yeah, when the hood is actually closed, it fits really well in here and up top as well. So you can just imagine where that's gonna sit, and it looks really good. I'm pretty excited for it. As I was doing it, I realized I could just do it a lot easier, a lot different ways. So next time I make one of these, it should be a whole lot easier and more streamlined. This took me like 3 or 4 days. Just a lot of cutting. Yeah, bullshit. But anyways, we got that finished. Now we're gonna move on to the up pipe and the dump tube. So because of the current packaging situation, B series and an EF going turbo, there's not a lot of space. Even with single cam, there's not a lot of space. So they had a dual core half rad in here. We had to go with an OEM EG single rad because the EF is all the way across. Later down the road, they will be switching to a different radiator, so this will all be fixed. But the gate would not fit with the dual core rad, so I had to get an OEM rad so this will fit. And even so, this is going to be a little bit short and difficult. Wideband placement is also going to be an issue, kind of, sort of. Where am I going to put it, you know? And I don't want it to touch this hose, so yeah. And then once this is out here, right, the dump tube is also going to be an issue. I don't know if I'm going to just try to come up over here or come up this way and then over there. I'm not sure, but we're moving along. I have an old PR something. It's a Subaru downpipe pair-in. That's what it is. I'm going to use this 2.5 to 3 inch expansion right there because the turbo outlet is actually a 2.5. So we're going to use that, weld it to this V-band, and then see where it comes out here. I don't know. I also have to do the intercooler piping too, so I don't want it to be too close to that. I was thinking about going under the rad hose, but that's not going to work. So I'll probably just have it short and up here, and then have the gate come up like this, either straight up here or over. But it's going to look real nice. So I'm going to go ahead and get that piece cut and see what we're working with over here. All right, little update quick before I get too over invested and just knock this shit out. Got the up pipe, got this cut off from that pair-in down pipe from the STI. Use that to make the up pipe, and now the dump tube is going to come up, and it is going to basically follow the same direction as the dump tube. So I'm going to go ahead and tack this in place, pull it off, weld it. We'll see what she looks like all finished. Alright, so dump tube and up pipe are done. They're pretty even. Not height wise, but not yet anyways. They come up at the same angle basically. So this is gonna be really nice. I just have to figure out where the hell they're gonna sit for the hood. I'm thinking it's probably gonna come down like right here. So I'll probably cut them a little bit longer and then cut the holes in the hood for about where they'll be, and then trim them up from there. But I also have to cut the hood up here for the radiator. So we'll see how this goes. I'm trying to get it to sit down further, but it doesn't look like it really wants to, so just what we got to work with. Hopefully the hood latches and everything, so we'll see. Alright, well, these came out pretty good. I think I am going to coat them with a coat of black ceramic paint, just so they look, I guess, even or whatever. But they came out really well. I had to cut the hood a decent bit for the radiator and then for the pipes, so I'm going to get this cleaned up, but let's see what it looks like closed. Looks pretty good, just above the hood line. You know, I'm pretty happy with it. So I'm gonna show Fredo'S, see what he thinks, and we should be good. I may get them on the flat, on the sander real quick, just to flatten them up a little bit more, but it's looking pretty good, man. These are gonna be nasty. Alrighty, so fine. It's been a few days. I've been waiting on intercooler piping because
Fredo ordered it from Amazon, and Amazon did something to it. Whatever, it got sent back. It must have been damaged or something. But we got a new kit in. We just got that, and also I coated the pipes. And yeah, they look really good. It looks really good with the hood closed and everything. But now we can finally get moving on the intercooler piping. So basically what we're gonna have to do here is cut the ends off somewhat, probably back here. Start getting the pies going right here, feed it back door. I'm also probably gonna have to shave this out some, and probably take some of the radiator, this fin part of the radiator, just shave it down like this. You can see it's not gonna be detrimental to the radiator. Just create some space so we can get back here and have ample space on the side of the pipe. And then as far as this side's pretty good. The pipe to go from the turbo down to here, it's gonna be pretty easy to make as well. We're gonna get it to come back door. It's gonna feed in here, and then we'll come right up into the pipe. So, whoop, be cake. And yeah, I believe this is a 2.5. So we just need a coupler from 2.5 to 3 to the cooler pipe, and then from that into the intercooler, and from the intercooler to the charge pipe on the intake. Yeah, we also have to cut off this blow-off valve and get it put onto the 3-inch pipe. So I'm gonna open this up and get a look at it real quick and start getting at it. Alrighty, this is our fresh aluminum. This stuff looks really nice. It looks like it's going to weld really, really well and really clean. We won't be using any of the 90 couplers, but we will be using 1, 2, 3 of these 3-inch couplers, and then we got to use a 2.5 to 3-inch for right there. So I'm gonna go ahead. First order of business is I'm probably going to honestly cut and make the 45, make the 90 through here, and see how far back I have to cut this off, and then weld the 90 to the intercooler. Then from there, I can roundabout guesstimate how far back I'm gonna have to cut this one. So I'm gonna make the same, try to make the same 90 from this one on there, and shave this out a little, shave the radiator. And then from there, everything else pretty much falls in line. I need to know where this is gonna be first with the 90s before I can make the intercooler piping come down, or from the turbo to the intercooler. So I'm gonna go ahead and get cracking on that and see what happens. Okay, so I was having some issues with tungsten that I bought. Filler rod that I bought. I bought ER 5356 or 5653. Anyways, it was garbage. It wasn't working very well. But I did pick up some ER 4043, and I got both sides of the intercooler cut off. I got this one actually on there, pie cut, welded up, extended, welded to the intercooler. And I dremeled out this here and the radiator so that the 3-inch pipe could go through there. So I'm gonna have to extend this 1 inch because I cut too much off. Do the 90 going back door. It'll be right in here. Be able to tighten the clamps. Do that. And the most difficult part is going to be this piece, because as you can see, I gotta go immediate down and over, and then boom, right to the coupler. So it's coming along nicely. I did run out of gas though, so I gotta go get some tomorrow morning and be back to maybe knock this out tomorrow. All right, so overall it's looking pretty good. Everything looks good. Everything's got space. I moved the rad over a little bit. I'm probably gonna have to move it back because of where the hood is cut. But I just wanted to give this a little bit more space. So I'm gonna go ahead and weld this in right here, and then we can start on the intake pipe, and also the compressor housing. One of the bolts were interfering with where the drain would go, and I couldn't put the hose on, so I had to tilt it backwards. So instead of it being straight down, it's back a little bit. Well, this will give us a little bit more room for the angle. This is that botched piece that I welded with the other aluminum rod, filler rod. It looks like shit. I'm just using it as a mock piece. So, but it looks like it should fit pretty good right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that thing welded on to the intercooler. And then we can start getting the intake portion ironed out. It's coming along nice. Not a whole lot of footage of me doing the work, but let's go. Alright, so I'm rocking and rolling, you know what I'm saying? Got the pipe ran. I just have to weld this piece here. Got 45, a 22.5 degree there off of the pipe. Comes up 22.5 again into the pipe, curve into the throttle body. Once I have this welded, only thing I have to do is mount the blow-off valve, which I'll probably put right here, and then the intake side will be done, and then I'll just have to move on to what we're gonna do over here. So I'm gonna get that thing welded. I'm gonna get the blow-off valve fitted, and then we'll see how that looks whenever everything is together on this side. Alrighty, so got the intake side on tight. Cut this off of a different set of intake pipes, dremeled it, and then welded it on, drilled a hole, dremeled the inside out, so it's nice and smooth on there. Everything's got space on both sides. Now this may be a cause for heat soak into the intake air temp, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? EF's got small bays, you gotta go, if you wanna go back door, like, it's just tough, but we're gonna work with it. So I do have room to move the radiator over a little, which I might, just to give it some air breathing space there. So we'll see what happens, but everything's looking really good. The only thing I have to do now is the turbo to the pipe, turbo to the intercooler, I meant. And then we're waiting on a few small things. The turbo feed, we are also waiting on the block fitting for the oil pressure. And I also have another valve cover that I'm going to be putting AN fittings on for Fredo. I'm not sure where he's going to put a catch can. Maybe up here, or maybe like even over here or something. I'm not sure. When we did Carlos's car, the TLEF hatch, we used 2.5 inch piping, so it was more maneuverable. And we had the blow-off valve like up here so that we could have the catch can over here. But I would say he could probably get a decent sized one that goes over here. He's not going to drive it a whole bunch, so having it in the back and having it small is okay, because it shouldn't fill up too much between each front unless there's something wrong with the motor. So yeah, so we're just waiting on a few things, and then I'm going to come back tomorrow, finish this up, and yeah. Alright, we back. Alright, so what I'm thinking for this side is I think I'm going to have to come out. I'm gonna have to pop a 90 down, and then maybe like a 45 bink, and then a pipe goes straight to it. I think that's gonna be the move. Mocking this up as the 90. You can kind of see it's basically almost right there. And then a 45 to just go boop boop like this, and then an extender to go straight over. It should be good. So I'm not gonna use this. I'm gonna remake another one because this is garbage, because I was trying other welding rod, and yeah, anyways, not using this. I'm gonna make one of these, and then get a 45, which would be 2 more of these, bink bink, and then put that on here facing this way. Should be good. So I'm gonna get that cut up real quick, get it welded, mock it in place, and see what she's looking like. So sometimes you gotta work backwards to go forward, and maybe start from both ends, come to meet in the middle. And that's what I did for this pipe. I got it all welded up there. I'll insert some clips I got with my phone. Sometimes it just goes together like a puzzle. It basically fit like a puzzle piece. It was perfect. I just finished getting it welded up, so we're about to wait till that cools down and reinstall, and then we'll be finished with the turbo piping. The only thing really left I have to do is install the new oil pan, the turbo drain, the turbo feed, weld the AN on the valve cover, install the boost controller, and redo his fuel system. Not really redo it, but remount everything underneath the intercooler there. So I'll show you guys what that looks like when it's all together, and see how it fits. Alrighty, Everything is all tidied up. This looks really, really nice. I'm pretty happy with how that came out. Looks really good. And I'm buttoning up stuff here. I'm plugging in stuff. This gate was missing 2 plugs. So one would go here and one would go here. And then we use the hole in the top of the gate and then a hole in the back of the gate for the boost source and the reference and stuff like that. I did run the push lock fittings. So we got one from source right here on the turbo up. I have it like this because there's no way to really run it by the heat. I tried running it up front, but it would come out right here, and that's where the radiator is. So I have it run up underneath the fuel pressure regulator, across underneath all this stuff, and down to the bottom of the gate back here. I have a push lock fitting, so that looks good. Also, for general bearing turbos, usually calls for no restrictor, and this was a ball bearing restrictor. So it's a -4, and I just ended up finding a drill that fit right in here and drilled out the bottom of it so that so there's no restrictor. I'm gonna put this on. That'll probably be all for today. Tomorrow I'm gonna come in, do the oil pan, put the oil feed on, and put the radiator back in. I mean, from there we could probably oh, we need a TPS sensor because currently don't have one. But once that's done, I mean, put coolant in it and we could get a start, to be honest. I also have to weld ANs on a valve cover that he sent me. They're not gonna put that on yet because when it goes for the dyno and they have the catch can, that's when they're gonna put it on. So, but I'll catch y'all tomorrow. All right, so I got everything hooked up. Got all the sensors plugged in. I got the fuel line. I mean the feed line ran. Oh, I have to tighten that. Okay. I got it attached here behind the timing belt. Got the front bumper cut. It's cut pretty good. The fuel system is mounted. Just reused the bracket that they had and painted it so it looks nice. And yeah, it's up out the way. I'm gonna go ahead and try and get it started in here quick. Make sure everything's getting oil. Make sure it idles because we did install the 70 mil. So gonna have to adjust that and adjust for the 4-bar. So let's see what happens. Well, she's running. I forgot to record it, but oh well. It started right up. It's running pretty well. So the map is adjusted. The throttle body set where it's at was pretty good. So woo! That sounds good. Whee! Hit that 2-step.
Do it?
Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah, sadly. I forgot.
It's time to cool.
Let's go. Whew. Well, that is all for this one, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Wasn't a whole lot of fabrication like being shown, but showed you guys in on what's going on. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. The car will be going for a dyno tune in a couple weeks. I downloaded the map onto my laptop, so I'm gonna make some adjustments. Send Yerral back a revision, and then he's gonna tune it actually. So just give him a good base to start from, which should help in the long run. So that is all for this one, guys. I hope to catch you on the next one. Thanks for stopping by. Hopefully soon we'll be working on the CRX. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. And next video will probably be on this car, getting the engine finished. And we also have another, my buddy wants intercooler piping done, intercooler work, exhaust work, and a tune, and he's aiming for 650. So stay tuned for that. We're gonna be coming out heavy, so check y'all next one, guys. Deuces.